How I plan my training week in Garmin Connect. I click on calendar, which I already have here. You can also edit this by clicking on somewhere edit, see all or something like this, edit home. Here you cannot edit this, but I think on more and well, I don't know where to edit. Here, edit. And there you can basically select the different parts. I have the calendar already in here. So I click on calendar. So what is on for today? We can see if I now click on the day view, and we can see I have to run 2.5 kilometers, which I might or might not do. Then I have a gym workout, which is in my case a gym custom workout, which I already have. It also has a training plan, which I created for myself, which is all of these exercises. I do antagonistic, drop sets, and supersetting at the same time. And then we also have sleep coach, so it's for a day where I already slept. It's today, so it shows me yesterday's sleep because it's 2 a.m. in the morning. Then we also have a sleep score, heart rate, HRV status, steps, stress, and body battery. So these are all things now that are not in my planned training week. Now, how can I add a training? So yesterday, for example, I did actually swim, but previously I had an assault bike training planned. Usually I do 500 kilocalories, but now I can't swim again because the village I am opened the swim hall again, and so I can swim or switch to swimming in the winter, which I think is slightly superior to assault biking. Also, I can swim and feel normal compared to biking basically on the assault bike in a gym and feeling like a weirdo. So how do I now add a workout? I click on add a workout, and here I have all the workouts that either are so basically these are either templates that Garmin created and I saved them into my library, or I created these myself. Whenever I do make a big change for a workout, I basically name or rename the old one and then I copy. So basically I create a copy, the new one has the original name, and the old one now has a name which is called pre and then the current date, because this allows me to kind of save historic versions and still keep short titles. Now, what I also did as of recently is specify a little bit more in the titles. So for example, I had a workout, which is the gym workout, or let's take a look at the assault biking and the swimming workout. So today I did, or rather yesterday, I did the swimming workout, and now we have to find it. This is already a big problem in this custom workout list, because why is there no search function? Garmin, why is there no search function? So I cannot find the workout unless I now read and read and read and read. So where is even swimming in there? I don't know. It's 1 kilometer of swimming. And this is usually also how long it does take me to basically find this workout. So here we have it. It's now a workout that I thought up myself, but we don't see the workout actually, because now I'm again on the daily view. I don't know exactly why, but let's take a look at the workout itself, which is now already saved. So what I did here is create custom steps. And so the first step is a warm-up. It's 50 meters, so basically two of these things that are in the swimming pool. I don't know what these are called. And then we have a rest. Basically until I press, and then the main workout begins, which is 1 kilometer, and I do mixed style. And basically I alternate it between breaststroke and also freestyle. Then I again rest. Why the rest? Because otherwise, if I accidentally already start the next thing, then basically I have already the timer started. So I do have these rest periods in between, and then I have basically a few drills, and then rest, and then in the last portion of the workout, I do have breaststroke and freestyle, and then I have a cool down, which is 50 meters of choice. I did not finish this workout as of today. In an ideal world, I would have, but I kind of ran out of time. Or actually, I did not run out of time, but out of magnesium. So I did get a couple of cramps in my hamstrings a couple of times, and so I decided to not drown and get out of the pool. So that's kind of how I plan my workout week, but of course only in the detail. So now let's take a bird's eye view and let's take a look at the calendar. Currently, of course, here already in September, I already have the workouts done. And I think this is actually quite a nice view that all of these things have different colors already. And so now let's take a look at just the workouts. The workouts are usually orange. And let's take a look at my normal training week. You might see that there are 2 workouts scheduled for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Why are there 2 workouts? Because on these days, I plan to run 2.5K in the morning, also to kind of increase my morning alertness over the long haul, basically, such that I can also on these off days benefit from this conditioning basically from conditioning myself to have a high cardiovascular output in the morning. So the 2.5K for me, also because they are so short, are usually kind of high intensity workouts. So I basically run as fast as I can and then it's over. That's basically the 2.5K. If I do 5K, then it's already different because I need to kind of keep the condition in mind and I don't want to be too slow at the end of the workout. And so the 2.5K seems to be a sweet spot because it seems to be the case that, especially since I'm on creatine, so I take currently about 16 to 18 grams, if I calculated this correctly, then it seems to be the case that for the first about 10 minutes, usually it's 10 minutes, it's between 8 to 12, so the median is kind of 12, it seems that I, for this time, usually have nitro. So I kind of can run faster, significantly faster than compared to the rest of the workout, and it seems that if I don't take these opportunities, then they are gone. And so even if I would run 5K in the past, then the last 2.5K would be significantly less efficient in terms of my time use. So I decided to just cut it short. So my current plan is to run basically 4 times a week, but I have not established basically a full routine because I also then would need to shower 2 times a day. And also I'm driving to the gym currently and it's a 15-kilometer drive. And so it's kind of complicated because, well, it's not very time efficient and I cannot really change that much. So I'm currently in the midst of rescheduling. So let's take a look at the Sunday. Sunday is my beginning of the week. Why? Because then the Wednesday is the middle of the week. So it kind of makes sense if you think about it like this. And also in terms of, yeah, well, it's mostly the split of the week and also, of course, to some extent, this is influenced by me living in Europe. And so there is, Christianity quite widespread. So Sunday, beginning of the week, also in this case makes sense. And I also like to finish kind of on Saturday, maybe, or mentally finish the week on Saturday, I don't know. And so on Sunday is my running day, which also, so there are a lot of factors that actually have influenced this over the last couple of years. I began scheduling my own workouts about at the age of 12, so it's now basically 17 years. This workout plan is kind of 17 years in the making, so it's quite a little bit of variables over the years I have inputted into or integrated in this workout plan. Then I do full body workout Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Why? Because every time I hit this workout, then I'm basically fully trained. And this means if I miss one workout a week because there was this birthday of a friend coming up and then I couldn't train or something like this, which obviously I try to avoid not training, but sometimes it happens, then I'm still fully trained. So I don't need to make up for the workout I missed 2 weeks ago, and I can't anyway. So because of regenerational basically limits, I can only regenerate so much. And so if I train 3 times full body, then I 3 times a week basically have the full body trained, and that's the whole thing. I also do antagonistic drop sets and supersetting at the same time, so it's the main workout is usually 40 minutes. In case you want to screenshot it or something like this, this is my main workout, which seems to work quite well for me. But of course, this depends on genetics and also lots of other things. And also, yeah, very many other things. Also the other workouts, because I also have these workouts such that I can work out on the other days, etc., etc., etc. So let's take a look at the next day, which is then the Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I now have an interval workout, which looks like this currently. I did have 3 stations in the past, and these 3 stations were basically rowing, then assault bike, and also sprinting on a treadmill. I usually do the maximum incline, mostly to kind of preserve a little bit of my running ability for the other days, because if I do too much of flat running in the gym on a very high speed, then of course there might also be a training effect, but I basically have to pay for it on the days where I then run. And since at least in the last couple of years, I often ran barefoot, not barefoot, but with barefoot shoes, I needed to keep some ankle motility, etc., and avoid injury. So basically I usually use the maximum incline, and then I start with the highest speed I can handle, and then I go down as basically my power goes out. So this is kind of the workout I'm doing now, because my gym currently only has a treadmill and an assault bike, and so it also has a couple of other things like a bike, but the assault bike is a full body workout, the treadmill is not, but the treadmill is still quite useful in terms of getting my heart rate up. The assault bike not so much, because I'm getting kind of used to it, and if I'm not in my basically best ultradian high of the day, which would be the ultradian high that overlaps also with circadian high still, then the assault bike often seems to not hit the right. I cannot get beyond zone 4 often with the assault bike. So let's take a look at the next day then. It's Wednesday. Wednesday is again a gym day in the morning, 2.5K. It's actually quite simple if you think about it like this. that Monday, Wednesday, Friday is in the morning the same as basically on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And that's also, in terms of me thinking about this, it makes it easier. Of course, I could make a more complicated schedule, and if I had a more complicated schedule and that would be more optimal, I would just have to remember it then anyway. Also, what's quite useful about this is that if you then select a certain, let's say I select the strength training on this day in the gym, then this pops automatically up. And this is so useful because it's just a quick reminder, okay, this is what you planned. Remember, this is what past you planned for you. And so it's just so nice. And also if you open up or happen to open up Garmin or happen to take a look at your watch in the morning, then it's like, okay, this is scheduled for today. And I don't have my normal calendar events kind of on my Garmin. I actually have them synced now. And also birthdays of friends, which are kind of, maybe they shouldn't be on my Garmin watch. I am at least thinking about this. I also wear a Galaxy watch on the other wrist, so maybe I should again basically deconnect the calendar at least, because then I would always see what I need to do in terms of workout on the day. And since I train every day, well, that would be quite something actually I should maybe change. Then on Thursday, originally, so basically during school, I wanted to prepare a little bit more for swimming, which I had in the last 2 years of my school. So basically there was like one semester, so 6 months, where I actually had to prepare swimming, and there was one, I think it was 800 meters. And then I prepared for this quite a bit. And also before, obviously, every now and then we took swimming, but we swam in basically PE, in sports. And then I wanted to not have the worst times, and so I usually then swam. Which was also quite, to a certain extent, also a social activity, and also really enjoy swimming. And we also have a small swimming pool, so it's 25 meters. It's not small, it's kind of a standard swimming pool. The 50 meter is quite big, but you only find it in big cities, at least in Europe. And so we have a normal swimming pool, which is actually now renovated, which is really nice, and it's also quite cheap. It costs €1.50 for me, because I'm still a student, and that's what I tried yesterday again. And it's like coming back home and finally being able to swim again, and not having to sit on the assault bike and trying to do the 500 kilocalories and feeling like super weird on this because the other people in the gym don't do the assault bike and there is also only one, and every time you go up to high intensity, the whole gym can hear you. So air biking 500 kilocalories also was a way to save money, because I don't have to additionally pay for the entrance fee for the swimming pool. So basically I lived in another city, and there it was like 4 or 5 euros for entry, and now I pay €1.50, which is quite more financially responsible, I would say. So that's the main reason I have the 500 kilocalorie on the assault bike. And my PR is, I think, 41 minutes and 30 seconds, and this is quite intense. So it's like all out, and then basically switching up styles because of local muscle fatigue. And so currently I barely, in the last couple of weeks, I barely hit the 60 minutes, and I couldn't get it below 55. And so basically, I'm not really able, at least on Assault Bike Pro X, which is in the gym I go to basically improve with this one training session a week. Mostly, I think also, because if I drive to the gym, then it's usually in my circadian evening also, or in my circadian mid, and I would need to train cardiovascularly in order to improve in my circadian morning. Otherwise, I think it does not work that well. Maybe if I hit basically my afternoon circadian high, so which is not always aligning with the actual afternoon, but around in between 8 to 11 hours, I think is for most people the second, so basically the cardiovascular high of the afternoon. That's kind of a couple of hours before sunset. Of course, this depends on the time of the year, etc. So this is the first day. Basically, I plan to at least every second week replace it with swimming, but because now the logistics are actually different, because so basically for assault biking, driving with the car 15 kilometers to the gym for assault biking is quite not, is neither economically nor, what is I can't remember the word for the environmentally useful, I think. And then I am there just to have the full body workout. I could also, the whole summer I didn't basically barely bike. Also because basically it's not a very good, so biking outside is not a very good, I think at least, or at least for me, it's not a very good cardiovascular workout because I don't engage the upper body much. And so I kind of avoid it. And I also, it's not that I avoid it, but I have to do more useful things, which in my case are assault biking or swimming. So I could also have been swimming in the summer, because there is also a swimming pool which opens up in summer in my village. So that's maybe what I will do next year, but this year I didn't. And it's actually also quite cheap. So I think it would be 15 euros for me for the whole summer. So for a couple of months, it would be a free pass, a flat rate fee for 15 euros. And then in winter, 10 times going to the swimming pool. So a 10 card costs like 15 euros for me, which is also quite cheap. So swimming is just, it works out the whole body. Afterwards, you feel like you don't feel like trash after a big run where you can't walk anymore, but you feel like, okay, this is actually, you feel worked out cardiovascularly, and you also work out quite well the different muscles. And often I actually have muscle ache in the days after. And so that's swimming. And also you have these different ranges of motion which you cannot really train otherwise. Like you can move basically the water, and you have resistance in every direction if you're moving in the water. So then Friday, again, the whole body workout, which I already showed you, and then the morning 2.5K. Saturday now has originally been for kind of my freestyle workout. But if I have lots of things to do, then I cannot make up a workout in like 2 minutes. And so then I also need to be kind of in the long term health responsible. And so often then I'm faced with the decision what to do now, and I have to plan my day, obviously. So I eventually just scheduled a workout, which then was kind of a calisthenics workout. But what if it is winter, and what if it is snowing? What if it is raining? So also maybe because I needed basically, because the weekly main routine is so standardized, I also kind of needed a workout in which I could try new gym exercises. And so currently I'm doing basically a machine circle. In my last gym I went to, I also did the Matrix machine circle. So basically just all the Matrix machines, and I just do 3 sets and with different weights. So the first set is usually my max set. Then I have kind of a working set, which is in my case maybe 2 to 5 reps. And then I often have a third set, which is again with dropped weight, because I'm always doing antagonistic drop sets and supersetting if possible. And so that's the Saturday. Currently I'm doing the Technogym selective machines and a couple of other machines in the gym where I go to. And then the Sunday is a run, 5K.